Solar study lamp products are the main sources of power for most locals in remote communities. The Rural Renewable Energy Project, started by government in 2019, aims at providing electricity to rural areas across the country. 78 towns in total have been completed nationwide and currently connected to solar systems. Sambaia, Bendugu in Tonkolili district, Alikalia and Kondembaia in Bendugu district have now benefited from phase 2 of the project. Deputy Minister of Energy, Dr. Eldred Tunde Taylor says lack of electricity is a major constraint to economic development. He encouraged the locals to protect the infrastructure and sustain the investment by paying their bills and do not bypass the meters to illicitly get electricity supply through illegal connections.
When you combine the three, it's almost 300 kilowatt peak. That is the power output. But then again, if you are to consider the energy storage, especially from the battery component, you are talking of close to 1,000 kilowatt hour energy storage. So it means these three systems, have a very big capacity to foster mostly agricultural activities, which is like the primary occupation in this part of the country. Because we've realized that agriculture is also the bedrock of our GDP, which is why government is very keen to see how we could foster the productive component of this energy. With respect to the tariff, these are like mini grid systems. We know the initial investment cost with respect to the capex is relatively high. So we might not expect the tariff as compared to what we are also getting from the grid connections in mostly the big cities, primarily probably Freetown or maybe Bo and Kenema. But one thing as a government we've been trying to do over time is to see how we could leverage, how we could bring down the tariff, which is why we are working out with some of our development partners, especially cross-boundary energy, which is now trying to see how we could come up with certain interventions, particularly for these mini grid spaces.
The mini grids have the capacity to supply over 1,000 homes, but less than 900 households are now connected to the solar systems at Sambaia, Bendugu, Alikalia, and Kondembaia. Some locals expressed delight for the development.
Particularly when it is solar, and not thermal electricity, which is renewable. It's a very good, it's a laudable idea, because over the years, since after independence, I don't think any government has taken such a stride as President Julius Maada Bio has done, to reflect on rural communities. I can only trust that through the Sierra Leone police, the military, the paramount chief, and other stakeholders in this district, they will put in place robust mechanism to be able to protect these assets.
This is development to me and other women, because in the past, if we want to do any business that involves electricity, unless we go to Bumbuna. So we are happy because our businesses will now flourish. So we thank the government and the energy ministry.
We tell the government of the day, thank you.
It gets inclusiveness, because if in our other sector,
we are happy because there is inclusiveness in the project. We are grateful that our physically challenged brother has been appointed to start selling the electricity credits.
Each household must pay between 150 leones to 170 leones as connection fee. According to the Deputy Minister, GST components in the tariff and duty waivers have been removed for solar mini grids. Salifu Cheruna Kamara, AYV News.